Citizens, good morning. Happy Labor Day, I guess, if you celebrate that sort of thing. It's Monday morning, and just because the government says it's a holiday doesn't mean that medicating and exercising don't have to happen. So, we figure check in with y'all, see how it's going. It has definitely been an eventful few days in the streams already. It's very funny. If you watch the different sectors, the different commentary, different commentators, then you would have seen that Angela Stanton King told everybody to have a peaceful weekend. I want to say that y'all try to do that, except who a child is internet. All these grown folks out here just doxing the shit out of everybody. I'm not sure that y'all did that. Then there's the young man. I don't know if you all know this content creator. His name is Miko Worldwide. Miko went and got himself beat the hell up, and had his stuff stolen for the stuff that I think it's Bomb Cherry and them are investigating or interrogating a young gentleman about this weekend. I'm like, what are we doing, y'all? First of all, the young man over there on that panel, no, I'm not that interested to actually be invested. But let me just say this: your shit was litigated when you were however old you were. Why are you allowing these motherfuckers on the internet to relitigate some shit? What are you doing, sir? Maybe that's not the circle of people you need to be around. You know what I mean? Um, Miko Worldwide, honey. I mean, seems like he earned his L because the circles seem to believe and know of what it is that he's done, and they took it upon themselves to get some justice for the young people in question. I mean, the thing is that's strange to me is no matter how you go about handling the situation, someone wants to Monday morning quarterback. And I'm like, where'd you get your law degree? No offense, there may have been some folks over there who had one, but yo, Jessica X, that bitch, y'all better look out. I figured it out. These cross the pond motherfuckers. These we not really from over here. We want to be able to get over here and be interested over here. You want to stir the pot over here. I've yet to see you like add value to a community that you're in. I've yet to see any of you not like y'all up in here asking black folks a lot of motherfucking questions all the damn time. Why do you do this? Why do you do that? Why can't you be this? Why can't you be that? I've seen content creators using the same trifling ass stats that black people use against one another, against the diaspora will use it against black folks too, and don't nobody stand up and say nothing. Jessica X don't base all of her understanding of early childhood development off of her early fucking childhood. You're one goddamn person. And what you don't know is anything about early childhood development, apparently. Or you would have been able to understand what those people are saying, but you were being purposely evasive, like that nitwit yesterday. So, everybody needs somebody. Yet we don't need everybody. We're not the United States Army. We don't take them just because nobody else will. That is not what we're going to do up in here. The black delegation, shout out to Peace Love, is not putting up with no more bullshit. You want to come over here and tell us which people can be in our community? Go home and take care of yours first. Hello, our royal rising to you too. That's a nice one. That's a nice one. where people get this notion that they can continue to come over or drop in because you ain't coming over here. Sounds like you might be afraid of that one. Where you continue to believe that you can drop in, question black people, and then tell black people what to do. Yeah, nah, baby, you're not middle management. The hell you think this is? You're not the go-between between us and the cauliflower people that we are going to correct before this next election. Don't get it twisted. It's a new day. Like I said in someone's chat yesterday, I voted for Manchurian Joe to buy some time. That's it. Had we voted for old orange dude, we would already be in situations that black people are. Anyway. And then, as I said, our children or the children are going to end up carrying all these fucking burdens and all this debt and all this shit. You got these old people. No offense to y'all. I'm on my way to being there with you, but I'm not there yet, motherfuckers. So we got these old folks wanting to tear people apart or get into other motherfuckers' business because they ain't got no business. Get you some goddamn business instead of fuck up out my business. What are we doing? How are you gonna change that person's life? By pouring through everything about them, past and present, on the internet. How are you, a regular old so-and-so, in the middle of wherever the hell y'all are, going to change someone's life by going through and revealing all that personal life? What the fuck are we doing, dude? Hey, Simma. Thank you. Also, thank you for being the number one participant in the Facebook group. I appreciate that too. We got to make sure you get you some admin privileges over there if you would like them. Of course, feel free to drop any content. You're awesome support here and there. I appreciate it. But yeah, no, like we want to provide information. We want to provide understanding. We may even be able to provide conversations that allow for growth in real time, or to go home to get offline and self-reflect and come to some solutions or understandings. Yet, going through anybody's records to the point where you're trying to relitigate, explain, clarify, justify, rectify a situation that the state, the feds, the families, the fuckers involved have already taken care of. What do we do? No one's life is that open to these spaces, or should it be anyway? Young man, you want to tell your story, you want to get some understanding? Write a book or start your own channel and tell it in your own way. Create a community that understands and supports you. Yet, for hours and hours and hours, people have been able to use your past as content. This is what we're doing to our own. We're cannibalizing each other for YouTube content. As short as it is. Because here's the truth about it. No one's going to know who you are 20 years from now should they find the video. Who is this dude? And they're going to go down the rabbit hole of you. And they're going to find that this YouTube conversation was the pinnacle of your existence. And all of those involved. That's some tiring shit. For the rest of us who look like y'all, yet don't move like y'all. And remember, these are not shots. This is just conversation, communication. We don't know each other. But you are a part of the diaspora, a part of what YouTube considers blackness. Therefore, you're a part of the representation of who we are today. Is that really who we are today? We're going to tear apart our sons, someone else's sons and daughters for entertainment of others, not even for education. I just don't get it. Mind you, yes, I laughed when Lil Rhonda got her learning. Why? Because that is what we are supposed to do. We're supposed to, as women, take a young girl to task on her inappropriateness. I believe that Lady Snoop did an excellent job. Peace Love was boxing, bruh. She was well within her right to fight. Disrespectful shit. I'ma say that kind of, oh, he was being rude to black people by the end. Honey. Well, I noticed in the chat, there were some folks from the divestment sector. There's some folks from what you consider, I don't know what that sector is. Uh, uh, Healing, self something, post trauma, the after Hassan Campbell child, them people. Anyway, a lot of folks from all different sectors, right? Which is actually what you want as a content creator, and so then you want to make sure that you are providing valuable content. Um, child, that other child, I don't even know if it's worth it to be beating up on little cauliflower children no more. Look at them. I mean, all of them. All the ones who had to go after it. Oh my goodness. Um, all of the ones who have been disrespectful have all been just, high pitched, really emotional. The kids in daycare who always needed the extra attention and the extra time. Just, I'm not a daycare provider anymore. I shut down my business back in 2009, and I went on to become a culinarian, where I learned to play with fire and knives. And I don't have time to play with other people's grown ass children anymore, Alma. So people can get it, or people can get out the way, or people can get on board. That's all there is to it. Having said that, being over there, we unlocked, brother. I debated whether or not to send this to you in your messages. It's really not that big. Yet I was disappointed. Right? I was disappointed in Poppy too, because we are all out here in the Southwest. We are all, for whatever reason, black folks who chose to migrate west to the South, Vegas and Arizona, right? Rather than talking about, you want to see my blicky? Come on, pew pew Meet me at the hotel lobby. You can play with my blicky. Yay! Rather than doing that, how about y'all talk about how we can come up on one of these properties out here in Arizona and put some young children in the home so that they don't have to worry about the coming weather conditions over the next 6 months? No. Let me show you how bad I am. I've got lots of money. What? I'm a big, strong Negro. Just look at me. And real talk, even Poppy's voice got a little extra high pitched there once he felt some type of way about folks talking about the diaspora. Who are you to come up here and tell black folks who've been living with, contributing to this shit all this fucking time? And here you are saying, nah, I just make money for me and mine. Keep up. Under cover of darkness or in the light of day, some real motherfuckers gonna come your way, just like they did for Miko Worldwide. You know why? Because if you ain't here for black folk, you ain't here for black folk. We recognize. We understand. Everybody needs somebody. Black folk do not need everybody. You about that bullshit, that skin folk shit, and I'm gonna put other people over my people shit. We don't need you. We will consume you before they do, though. That's just a kindness. Should they get a hold of you, they gonna flay you. Look it up. Yesterday, I should have put this word in the title. I said specious. Now let me tell you something. Darrell was too high to know what the word. He probably thought I said species, spacious, whatever the fuck you want. And then some of the other folks on the panel, I'm sure, just didn't know what the fuck specious meant. A deceptively attractive untruth. A pretty lie. Kind of like some of y'all's girlfriends. Pretty fucking lie. If that's what you want, go for it. Just don't think that we're going to consume it anymore. We recognize it for what it is. We are now going to call you and your tactics what they are. It's going to begin to get very uncomfortable. And all right, we got a walk to go on. I can't get so hot. First of all, I can't get high. I gotta get medicated first. Shout out to Lou. You're very right. Last night, I did manage to get high. Here's the funny thing, y'all. Because I live with chronic pain, I have to go through basically like a two-step process. I medicate, which gets me to the point of balance or equilibrium, equal function, right? And then from there, I can continue to smoke and get to recreational high like everybody else. And so, yeah, yesterday, I guess I had the right mix, a can of coffee, smoke, and did I have any alcohol? I might have asked some alcohol yesterday to get the job done. Oh, I did, because woo child, listening to grown men go back and forth at the level is just too much. What are we doing, guys? I mean, damn. Even I don't get like that. If you were to actually go and look at me across the internet, and I'm sure these motherfuckers out here will tell you when I'm one of the softest women that they know. Right? If you were to look at my experiences across different platforms where people were loud, rude, disrespectful, how often do you hear me? I just gonna be I mean, it screams emotional imbalance. It just rings with the truth of I don't have a fucking clue what I'm talking about. And we have to listen. That's just fucking piercing. And my autistic ears are like, ah! It makes me want to eat crunchy things so that I can hear something inside of my head making the noise from the outside stop. It's that bad. Like, and you're going to say, well, JP, why didn't you stop listening? I'm on the panel. I'm supporting the content creator. I'm part of the conversation. This motherfucker then came over here and turned the conversation. And because they couldn't understand the topic at hand, turned the topic and then couldn't actually communicate on about that topic on the level at which other folks were communicating, got in their fucking feelings, and then acted like a goddamn toddler and threw a tantrum. If you don't understand, if you do not know what's going on, just don't talk about it. It's okay. If you would just like to be present, just be present. That's fine. You can learn by listening. I hear you learn by osmosis, even some people. It's all right. What are we doing? What type of exemplars are we? That's just from space to space to space. It's just looking at it. Now, that's the incense burner. It's not like I got just cigarette smoke to that degree. Ooh, child, look at. Let me just make it see. I don't want y'all to think I got like. I just realized there's all that smoke going through the stream. I'm like, ah. This might be a bad look. Well, like, yesterday I said millennials, y'all need to slow down a little bit. Pipe down, son. Pipe down. You're still in the midst of adulting. Maturing adulting. You still doing it. How you gonna tell other people how to do it? Like, that's when y'all are when you're on the track and you're running, right? You're on the track and you're running. Are you really telling somebody else, hey, lift your knees up? Or if it's your homie, are you on the sidelines like, yo, go, get it done, yo, speed up, oh, here they come, right? You're in the midst of your race. Run that motherfucker. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. You know what's hard to do when you're doing that for a very long time? Run that motherfucker. Your mouth, that is. My bad. Perhaps that was inappropriate. We need you to be about the work of being about the work, getting the information and putting it into practice so that your children won't start from the bottom and only ever get here. Those of us who've already run that portion of the race, We've already we've already run hours, right? Like, we've gotten our awards. I got hanging around our neck. We're standing up there, fist in hand. We can now tell you how to do it easier. The ones who are in power of the game itself. Hey yo, this is the fuckery we saw in the game. We need to fix this shit. That's our job. That's our job. The ones older than me, older than us, right? Older than Gen X. It's their job to be wise counsel, quiet counsel. You're not supposed to be on the internet sharing everything you learned about the ones that came to you asking you how to do it different. You're doing a disservice to them, the community, the diaspora. Putting yourself before everyone else. Your whole life? Your whole life, though. I understand yesterday we talked about the narcissism of youth. When I was, I can't say that. We'll walk and talk about this one. Let me hit this one. I was going to say, when I was in my 20s, I didn't talk to my mother. She wasn't here for me to talk to. Time sometimes is a little wonky. Hold on. Shout out to everybody choosing to medicate on camera and make people understand that it's medicine. It's not dope. It's not a drug. It's an herb, much like many of the other ones that you put into your food. And all of them, if used properly, can heal you. Come see me. Let's talk about it. You can hit me on Buy Me a Coffee. You can come over here. Whatever. I'm here for my folks because there's too many of my folks that aren't here for themselves or anybody else. All right. I'm going to make sure that this is all done so that when I come back, I can go. Do you guys know how to check your ash and know whether or not you completely combusted your cannabis? The different colors. I will post a picture or an understanding in the Facebook group. Yeah, probably on Twitter too. Okay, couple more, and then we're gonna get out of here. So, I need to get my socks. Sorry. Remember I told you that my mom passed in 1996. Well, I was 21 at that time. Well, no, I was heading into my 21st year. Sorry about the light, guys. Give me just a second. Excuse me. And, but before that, like I told you, I'd gone off to college at the University of Tennessee at Martin. And when I came back, That summer, I was spending more time with my boyfriend. And by September, by my birthday, I would be pregnant and my mother would be diagnosed with stomach cancer. And up until then, she kept asking us to be around the house more, to check in with her more. But I was young, you know, home from college. So you can call Germany home. Um, home from college for the summer break, you know. There were still people there that I knew, which is kind of rare if you understand how military life works. And so I I was doing what young people do. I missed out on some time, some stories. She probably could have provided me a lot of valuable information then. I live with no regrets today because that was my first and only regret, that I didn't show up enough. Now, we were blessed and fortunate that when my mother became sick, excuse me, my sisters, myself, my father, along with some other family members, were able to spend time with my mother and take care of her. Sorry, y'all, I was just checking to see if I need my sweatshirt. Hey, love. Thank you. Um, and I am gonna grab my sweatshirt. So give me just a second because I gotta remember where it is, y'all. Sorry. um, but because my father was military and because I was married to the military, my sister was still in her teens. My older sister was married to a man in the military. We all had the privilege, benefit, blessing of being able to be there with my mother. And shit, that reminds me, y'all. I mean, I got some real military legacy. I don't even, I don't think about it. Um, which is why I find it so strange that people in this space would seek to not listen to me as they speak about generational anything. Where your generation's at to talk to? What do you know about your generations while you judging someone else and theirs? Lord have mercy, y'all. I might not be able to find this doggone shirt, which might just be a sign from the universe that I don't need it because I may get too warm on the walk. So, ta-da! What I tell you, if you do something twice, or you attempt to do something twice and it doesn't work, let it go. The third time, you're gonna let something else in the door. Thank you, baby. Says I'm digging the hair. Thank you. I had to do. This is why I wasn't on camera yesterday, y'all. I was trying to get me some curls in. I'm trying to get back into the routine of living now that I know I'm alive and living. It's an amazing feeling. Um, and that I know soon I will be free from this financial tyranny. Anyway, um, so we were able to be with my mother to provide hospice care, or we had hospice come in, and we provided home health care with their support. In return, they would provide us with respite care periodically, which is where um, they would come in and sit with my mother, especially once she was bedbound. Um, and give us some time away from the house. It's weird to think about it now. I hadn't for so long. She my mom for a long time was a healthy girl. Let's put it that way. She was no slim chicken in my youth. Now in her own youth, I understand that she was quite attractive, light skinned. She was red bone, um, and they used to call. Oh shoot, I can't remember. I think they called her Dirty Red. My mom was apparently a handful, but I knew her mostly to be heavy. And by the time it was all said and done, she'd withered to hmm. See, the weird thing is I have this picture of her, and I've always wanted to throw it away because it is not the image of my mother that I want to remember, nor is it how I remember her. Yet, it's one of the few pictures of her with her first grandchild. The only one she ever got to meet. And she's smiling in that picture despite all the shit. Oh, Jesus. So, now I know that when I was going through my own thing, I was my mama talking to me. Baby, you gonna get your ass up. I died for whatever she died. We don't didn't have time for a whole conversation. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get me back. But I'm gonna make this trip a little longer. Um, I was. If you look at me in January, December, and you look at me today, you look at me around my birthday last year, we're not the same body. I got muscles in places I ain't seen muscles in a while. There's definition around my abs again. Holy shit, Batman. Um, so many things are different. And I've grown so much. I'm just so thankful for it. It didn't have to be. Sometimes, well, not not before everything happened. I was afraid that I wasn't going to have the strength to be this person, to muster this fight, to move forward in life. You know, that I would try to write or I would try to achieve some success and my body would fail me. In the midst of being afraid to try to achieve, my body failed me anyway. And I had to fight for my life with very little assistance. You know what I'm saying? And then after that fight, the creator was like, "Oh, you think you can't handle some shit? let's go on this little journey, bitch. I need you to understand who you are. Yes, my creator calls me a bitch from time to time because I got an ego problem, okay? I'm stubborn, as Razik would say. Just deal with it, okay? Anyway, so I'm off on this damn I don't know how many days it was mission around fucking Tucson, y'all. Like 2 days I'm missing and 2 days I'm in the hospital. Kidnapped, by the way. I didn't choose to go to that motherfucker. Let's be clear about that shit. And I'm like, oh, and they know that I didn't choose to go because there's no, Banner ain't sent me a fucking bill. You heard? Banner's like, hey, Miss Hill, please don't talk about us on the internet no more. Man, fuck out of here, bruh. Boy. If I had some SMD energy, I swear to God, they would get it. I just don't move like that. Excuse me. Oh, that was gross. Ew, big rig. Here y'all go. Okay. That was gross. Okay. So, thinking about my mother brings me back to Lil Rhonda and her mother. My mother would have never done that. Now, my mom probably would be all social on the internet and shit. My mom was cool to the motherfucker. She held card parties and barbecues, and she invited all of the soldiers who didn't have anywhere to go to the holidays to our house, and it drove my daddy crazy because it was a bunch of single horny soldiers around his young developing daughters. He was happy. He was apoplectic on a regular basis. I know it. He is a black man from the South of a certain age. There was certain shit that I just know drove him fucking bananas. Did you hear me? Straight bonkers. Oh God, the story of my husband and I is now even funnier, or even more complicated, and in a funny, ironic kind of way, because my father was trying to avoid that shit at all costs for years. I'd already got in trouble once with one of his soldiers, and then one stalked me and made me his wife. Ah, fuck nuts. You know how they say karma? That's it right there. I got my little grown 13-year-old ass in trouble with an 18-year-old boy. To me, man, to the government. Do you understand the problem there? Hey, TVE, wasn't it though, child? Thank you for being there. Thank you for sharing your story. Oh man, I'd love to put you and my dad on a phone call and just listen in to what you all have to say about being in a house with so many women and raising daughters. Because I know there is y'all should write a book. That's who should write a goddamn book. Hey, those of you all who have been with this channel for a while, remember back in February when we talked, or like January time frame, when we talked about the RV that was parked out here for no reason? Just make a mental note that one just passed by again for me. Anyway, but yeah, you and my dad on a phone call talking about raising all these girls, all the emotions, all of the what y'all? Okay, TBE, let me ask you this question. Have you ever allowed your daughters to like physically get into a fight? And as they came of age, did they actually go after each other in that way? Because I believe whatever you were, and I don't know your circumstances, so we're going to keep it as general as possible. Yet I came from a healthy home, and my parents, like, my mama tried outright to keep us from fighting at all. My dad's approach was to put us in a closet and tell us to box it out. And then me and my older sister was like, well, what the hell is we gonna do in here? And that's pretty much the end of it. And since then, like, it's just verbal combat. And that used to be the feminine norm, the girl norm. You guys, yes, there was a time when there was an understanding that girls and boys moved in different ways. And to be honest, some of that's true. Most young ladies aren't out here trying to go to goddamn combat. Although I did see that video about the kids today. Right. See, he said they would fight when they were young, but that's it. These are these young ladies that I'm seeing today, like them twins out of Alabama. Like, they're in their 20s. You've got, who, y'all? I want to go around one more time, but my tailbone is a little uncomfortable. Sorry. Thank y'all for hanging out with me on this walk. It does help because it just keeps me talking and not dancing, by the way. I was talking to my youngest, who's a radiology technician, and he was telling me that I do need to adjust, like, the jarring around, especially when I'm by myself, because, well, I got dragged down some steps. So outside of having a traumatic brain injury, it's a good chance that I've got some bruised bones, if not broken or fractured, and I need to do better. So I am. Anyway, um, we're gonna try to go at least around the pool. Okay. Woo! Muster up, girl. Muster up. Okay. Right. TBE says if they're still fighting as adults, there's something wrong. I agree. I agree. And if you are an adult calling your child in to fight your battles, there's something wrong with that too. There's some exceptions to that, certainly. If you are an elder parent, I don't give a damn which gender. If you are an elder parent and you are being somehow abused inside of your home by someone who's supposed to be helping you or supposed to care for you, you call on your children, you call on your community to come and help you. If you are someone who is in an abusive situation, you call on your community to come and help you, and that includes your children. That hurts. That's a stinger. I'm telling you now. You see, people talk shit. I can't believe you let so and so hit you. Why you ain't tell nobody? Cause of that right there. Cause of your shaming ass. Because rather than having any empathy, you hit him with the I can't believe, girl. Well, if you had a tub, if you'd have known what, motherfucker. I don't see you running to go and fight a goddamn war now that you do know. So sit down and shut the fuck up. And that's why we don't need everybody. Because some of you motherfuckers are just here for the show, and we ain't got time for that shit. We don't have the capacity or energy to remind you to get back in your goddamn place when you go spectating too fucking far. That's the problem. I saw these clips, these hashtags, soft girl, whatever. What makes you think that we want soft women? Hmm? What makes you think that the community needs soft women? What makes you think men want soft? When they say soft, baby, they mean your skin, your hair, your ability to soften into them when you are alone in the silent spaces. That's what they mean by soft. In order to be able to raise men of distinction, daughters of destiny, you got to be strong. You got to be able to stand in front of bullets until they are able enough to hold shields on their own. It's not some soft, weak ass shit, little girls. There's nothing ladylike about calling a man to his demise because you don't know how to hold your tongue or be above reproach with the things that you do. That part, that above reproach, I think people seem to get, excuse me, wrong. I did not mean for that to break up. Damn it. I don't think that the universe wants me to get that out, whatever it is. So we're not going to talk about reproach right now. We're going to make sure that I can approach my apartment. I think that's what it is. I should have made the left instead of coming all the way back out. Anyway, it's funny. I came into this space and have said this entire time, Kevin Samuels made me call my dad. Well, Kevin's moved on, rest in love, and the space has skewed his talking points even further than they were already skewed. Um, and now it makes me call my son, or him call me to fuss at me for not calling him. It's a wonderful feeling. Like, that's the one of the benefits of motherhood. I don't know that there's an actual award or trophy, as I implied when we started this conversation. Yet, in Islam, there's a statement: the mother of sons is blessed. I can't remember the entire thing. I'll have to look it up. Maybe I'll put it in the thumbnail for this week. Um, but yeah. Ah, all right, Janine, you're gonna make it. We're gonna go. We're gonna go this way, y'all. If y'all don't see me for a while online today, it's because I didn't overdone it this morning. But excuse me, I'm really trying to get there. I took pictures, and then I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to show y'all the pictures that I took. Boy, has my body changed, y'all. Bow. I mean, boobs and boobs. Okay, sorry. Too much information. Oh shit. Oh, this damn hump in this sidewalk. I almost killed myself. TB, are you like TBE? If you really okay, so I'm gonna tell you this as we're heading back to the house, and I'm gonna sit down on it. So the running joke my entire life, TBE, is that I have no behind, right? My children even call me Miss No Booty. My kids make jokes about it. I had an associate who gave me a bottle of no acetol pills for like my 36th birthday. By the way, it is JP season. Feel free to hit the Cash App to buy me a coffee, to PayPal, to whatever. Help a girl have a good season. Anyway, so my lack of ass was the talk of the town or community or whatever for 20 years. Okay. So yesterday we were talking, my son and I was like, babe, mom's got a butt. Mom's got a butt and thighs. He was like, Mom, I don't want to talk about this. No, but you tell me all the time about how sexy you are. You've been telling me since you saw Shrek how sexy you are. I just want you to know I've got a butt. I was like, Daniel said that it went from 6 o'clock to 7:30. And I'm like, dude, seriously? Right now, I'm pretty sure it's like 8 o'clock. He's so done with me. Ah, shit. I'm done with you too. I know. I know. Don't judge me. I mean, you can judge me. I judge me and laugh at me too. This shit's fucking funny. That's the type of relationship that we've always had, where they're little boys. And so as a grown up boy, TBE, you might understand this, and babe, I'm sure you do. You like they run into the room and be like, "Look at me!" And just try to show off their little bird chest and I'm so handsome. Well, after Shrek, I'm so sexy. Really? With your big ass ego, sit down somewhere. And then the youngest one, TB, he said you need to walk more too. Oh yeah. Going from being basically bedbound for a couple of years to throwing myself directly into work, which was a really bad idea, to taking the time to learn my body and put together something that doesn't really feel like exercise or dieting, or it's just a routine. It's a routine and it's muscle memory now. I get offended when I don't get up and go for my walk. I want you all to remember that it takes 30 days to make something. 21 days to make, 30 days to make something a habit. You have to try something 21 times to determine whether or not, to know whether or not you actually care for it. Believe it or not, culinarian, daycare owner, I studied early childhood education and food and nutrition. Okay, people? I studied early childhood education, food, and nutrition, along with a host of other things. Volunteer management, military protocols. I'm talking to you from what I understand, have no experience, a host of things. When you started driving, you stopped lifting. Yeah. You know something, TBE? What I had forgotten was the amount of activity that I did before I married and had children. And then, man, the level of increased activity that I had after I had gastric bypass surgery and lost all the weight. And then keeping it off all these years, I've gone through bits and bouts where I have gained the weight back. That's usually because they put me on some strange medication, which is why this time I've chosen to go with no Western medicine, no supplement, no pills, no supplements. We talked on one of the panels. We spoke briefly on Darrell's panel yesterday about politicians and lobbyists. I did a video in the beginning of this year discussing, I used a Spencer Cornelia video to help people understand how the system works as far as like the food lobby is concerned. Well, they're in cahoots with the nutrition lobby and the so on and so forth. And so you don't think that they're out here with the doctors who are selling these damn gastric bypass surgeries and BBLs, and no one truly knows the consequence. No one. I'm 15 years into that game, and you all heard Mr. Samuels even say most people don't survive, or they gain their weight back and gain more. So, the level of discipline necessary in order to be able to have these procedures and maintain a long, healthy life afterwards remains to be seen. And you all I did, let's talk about it. We need to make some distinctions and some understandings, okay? The gastric bypass surgery that I had, the Roux-en-Y, okay? I was open from here to my belly button. And what they did was reduce the size of my stomach and my intestine. Now, there ain't nothing inside of me extra except some staples, maybe. I think, nope, they were dissolvable. At this point, it's just scar tissue and birth control. Okay? Hey, mind your business. Now, having said that, I am 15 years into being able to maintain a healthy life with just that. You young ladies today are out here getting things put in places, removed, and up, all kinds of unsafe, strange, when you really shouldn't have anybody poking around inside your body at all. We shouldn't be cut open and picked at in this way. There's something unsound about that at its core. Perhaps it's just because of the way that the American medical system is set up. Do you all understand? These theories that are being put into practice today were tested on many of our ancestors first. That is the trauma that is tattooed on our bodies. That is in our fucking DNA at this point. Not everybody in the diaspora had that experience. So it's not for everybody. Do you understand? Why do we buy into these specious arguments that we're all the same, even though we didn't all come from the same place, we didn't all live this similar journey, we didn't all... We like to use these examples of stories of things that happen to Black people as some type of, are you aware? You should know. Or now that you know, what are you going to do? How are you going to use it? When we don't realize that doing so is using Black trauma. Let's talk about the syphilis experiment. A poor Black, nearly illiterate community. Years and years. They allowed these men and their families to go through excruciating shit for the sake of science. That genetic damage is passed on. science, DNA, your genetic makeup. You're so desperate to not be from the South. It don't matter. Wherever you go, there you are. You can take the coon out the country. You can't take the country out the coon. And that's the problem. You don't even recognize it's in you whether you want it to be or not. No one's a victim today. We're living reminders of the traumas targeted towards our ancestors, progenitors. And now we've become a fucking problem. We have voices, we have knowledge, thus we have power. When we come together, communicate about real things in real time, that is scary to the powers that be. So they will send anyone. And at this point, they don't even have to send them. The indoctrination is so deep. Especially for those who come from certain parts of the diaspora, where in their own spaces, they would be considered less than because of their own dark skin. Because you see, over there, those who could assimilate were made to seem great throughout the years. Over here, a Tom is a Tom, and we call them what they are. A coon is a coon, and we recognize your coonery for what it is. You see, people try to say, well, no, that's not what that word really meant. You're right. They started using it for something else in the beginning. But you all like to talk about how you can reappropriate, take back, whatever. Well, okay, well, this is one of those times where black folks was like, yeah, no, you're cool. You skin folking motherfuckers. You look like us, you talk like them. Now you're running their race for them. Against us, that is. So yeah, we don't need you. You still need someone. I suggest that you go back to your house and do some repairs, some touch-up work. Make it appealing, attractive. Bake some cookies. Go out into the community. Spend some time in the spaces you think you're too good for. And perhaps someone will take you in and be there for you in your time of need. I don't know. I don't so much think that that's a bad thing for anyone. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what you were suggesting. Just do it in your space, not in ours. And if you're going to come in our space, respect it or anticipate being disrespected to the point of disappointment. Because none of us give a fuck about your approval. or improve for that matter. You don't want to grow? Okay, that's your problem, not ours. Your community will suffer. You will not poison our well with your bullshit, though. How about that? Y'all, I need to get out of here. This battery is gonna die. I need to repack my bowl and focus. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me on my walk. Um, it's Monday. I always anticipate being live Monday nights, yet don't always make it. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, in the meantime, keep your spirit up. See you in the streets. Deuces.